Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you all. I'm hopping on a little early here just to see who's here. Lena's here. Dahlia's here. Cecilia's here. And hopefully a lot more will hop on. I am just going to go in the membership club and live stream this on Facebook. So it's the private page. Just so you know, for those of you who aren't in the membership club, it's going to be live streamed in there and probably all kinds of other places with time. Just so you know that any very personal questions, I'll try not to mention names, but if you have private questions, then just write in the chat that this is private. You don't want me to mention your name, so I will remember that. We'll do some questions in the end. Personal questions, anything around your path, your body, whatever you need, I am here. Okay. My nose is running. It's a good sign. Here we go. Okay. We are live streaming on Facebook. Perfect. For those of you who don't know me, my nose starts running when the energy moves. When energy is moving through me, my nose starts running. I don't have a cold. Okay, good. We are all set here. Just give people a few minutes to hop on. Let me know how you're doing in the chat. How's life? How's everything going on with you? Okay. We are getting ready. I'm live streaming all kinds of places now. We're doing the forecast for this new year. Welcome, welcome. My name is Fatima Loreen. For those of you who don't know me, I am a trained acupuncturist, Taoist, Chinese face reading in the Lillian Bridges lineage. And I am going to talk a little bit about the next coming year, the year of the dragon. Before we do that, I want to say huge thanks to my teacher, Lillian Bridges, who actually started this forecasting, and CT, teacher and student of also of Lotus Institute and Lillian Bridges, is continuing this wonderful tradition, which I'm very, very grateful for. A lot of the content in here is actually from CT. So I want to give a good big thank you for that. And then, of course, I always put my own thoughts, feelings, and whatever I come with, I put that in there as well. So I always want to just thank where it's coming from. So that is the root. If you want to know more, you can go to CT Holtman, who's written some lovely books, as well as Lillian Bridges also has written some amazing books. Okay, so we are here today to talk about the year of the dragon. Before we do that, I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. It's really wonderful to be able to talk about these things that are so important for me. The Chinese system, the Chinese philosophy. So it's a big joy for me to be able to try to communicate some of these things, which can be a a little bit mysterious for some people. I'll try to do it as easy explained as possible. If you're an acupuncturist, you'll probably understand lots of this. I'll try for you that aren't trained acupuncturist or have been working with Chinese medicine to understand some of these things. So I'd love for you to write in the chat at the end if you have any questions. Please write them in the end. And if you feel seen or heard or know what I'm talking about or feel, okay, I got this, please write in the chat. I'm always eager to hear from you. So last year we're coming out of the rabbit year, which was about longevity, peace, and prosperity in the Chinese culture. So the rabbit is said to be very affectionate and forms close relationships. They appreciate peace and tranquility. The water rabbit is a very yin year we're coming out of. So I don't know if you all feel this. I definitely do. It's like this year has been really kind of these energies of digging deep into the mud, like really coming all the way into the deepest fears, the deepest hurt, the deepest grief, whatever it was, coming really deep into the things and bringing them forward, which we're actually being called to do now. I'll talk more about the dragon in a minute, but we're coming really out of this yin energy. And it's like the water rabbit is said to have the ability to turn around these unfortunate events. So we're coming from this very, very yin year into a super yang year, the wood dragon. Which means we're sort of coming like from winter to spring. So we need some time to kind of readjust in this new energy. I don't know if you feel it. I definitely feel this kind of weird energy happening at the moment where it's like, I feel like I'm sick and then I'm not sick and then I'm like, I'm happy. And it's like we're adjusting, right? So we're going to be adjusting probably for a couple of months. Just remember to take the lessons that you've learned from last year and use them this year, apply them this year. It's going to be a great year to apply these teachings that you had the past year. So the dragon actually emerges on February 4th, which is pretty soon. The celebration is going to be on February 10th, but it already starts coming in on the 4th of February. So get ready now. It's going to be a really, really powerful year. Get ready to understand yourself in the coming year and how to come into these new energies so that you can really step into that full potential that you are in a balanced way. So it's really about balance this next year. So Chinese New Year is in February, which actually makes a lot of sense to me because New Year is this sort of celebration. It's a yang energy. We're starting something new. And for me, it makes more sense that it's closer to spring because there's more of that opening energy. Whereas in Denmark, we do it on, the 31st of December, which is a very yin energy. We're very sort of yin, we're tired, we want to stay in, right? And then we're sort of forced to be yang. So for me, it makes a lot more sense that the New Year celebration is more around spring, where we actually have more physical energy also. So it's the springtime is really this time where we're energetically ready to create something new, and we are ready to set new goals, and we're ready to flourish and grow. Okay, so all of these things are going to happen very soon, and I'm very, very excited to talk about the Year of the Dragon. For those of you who just hopped on, my name is Fatima Loreen, and I'm doing this forecast on the dragon, the wood dragon, for this coming year of 2024. Please let me know in the chat if you have any questions. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about, I'm just looking at my notes here. We're going to be talking about the energies and the emotions that are going to come up. We're going to talk about the colors of this year, which foods to eat, how to stay in alignment, and what all this means for you so that you can navigate in this coming year. You can always go back and watch the replay on this one or this video when stuff starts to happen. during, for example, April, May, June, July, when the year is like, when we're in the middle, sometimes we get lost and we're like, where am I going? You can always go back and watch the replay and kind of be reminded, oh yeah, that's what we're doing. So I hope that you will, if you do that, please hashtag replay if you watch it again, so that I know what's going on, and so that I can cheer for you. Okay, so it's a really, really powerful year. This is the Yang Wood Dragon, so it's a green dragon. And dragon is about earth. So this is really, really exciting for me. I love the earth energy. I'm a Virgo, so I have an earth sign. And I really, really love these energies. They're just so wonderful. To have a higher consciousness, to open up to higher consciousness, we need to be grounded. Otherwise, it's like a tree that's just growing, 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 but doesn't have any roots. So the roots, it really represents the roots. It really represents being deeply rooted in the core of earth, so that you have a strong fundament. Okay. So that's what earth is. And that's what we want to build this year, is these roots. We really want to get rooted and build. That's what we're going to do this year, so that we can become stronger for the next years. I'm going to in the end talk a little bit about 25 and 26 and what's going to happen there, and why it's so important that we ground it now in this year. So that's really, really exciting. I'm going to put some facial traits also during this live. I'm going to talk a little bit about some different facial traits to keep an eye out on, both for yourself, but also for your friends, family, spouses, boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever people you have around you. I'm going to talk about some features that you can check out, some facial features. Okay, so let's proceed. So this is a really, really powerful year. Dragon is about earth, and it represents the month of April. So April is a really good month to start something new. And it's the spring, of course, but it's also where the energies are really strong and powerful. So if you're thinking about launching something, starting a new education, doing new courses, whatever you're sort of doing that is going to be something new, April is going to be a really good month to start that, whatever that is. Maybe you want to start new habits or new rituals or something else. April is the month that you want to do that. So the dragon is very emotional. And so there's going to be a lot of emotions this year. You're going to see a lot of emotions, and emotions is like the ocean. Okay. Emotion, ocean. Just remember that the ocean has waves, and it goes up and down, up and down, up and down. And the same is going to happen this year with all these emotions. We're going to see a lot of switching back and forth, changing of minds. Please don't take it personal, okay? So maybe you get a job and then they say, oh, we can't give it to you anyway. Or someone wants to do a collab with you and they're like, oh, we can't anyway. Or you're in a relationship and they want you, but they don't. Don't take it personal. There's nothing wrong with you. It's the energies that you're going to see a lot of. You're going to see a lot of bouncing back and forth, okay? So just keep it easy. And that's why grounding is so important this year, because there's going to be a lot of that stuff. And the more grounded you are, and you can breathe and do your breath work, do whatever you have to do to stay grounded, it's really going to benefit you a lot. So don't take it personal. You're going to see a lot of changing of minds this coming year. So the organ is the stomach, which is the base of earth element. Just need a sip of water here. And the hours of the day is 7 to 9. So keep an eye on the large intestine is from 5 to 7 in the morning, and the stomach is from 7 to 9 a.m. in the morning. And that's because in Chinese medicine, we have this clock where each organ is supervised, it's shown, it shows the balance and the imbalance. And so if you have problems at certain times during the clock, the 24 hours that we are living in this time of Earth, if you have, for example, if you're very tired at a certain time in the daytime, let's say 4 o'clock, you're really, really tired every day at 4 o'clock, then there's going to be something, an organ you want to look at there. And so what you want to do for this coming year is really keep an eye on from 5 to 7, what's happening here. This is the large intestine. That's sort of, it's a really important time to, if you get up at this time in the morning, to have some really good rituals, start the day out with some really good rituals. And from 7 to 9 is also really, really important to eat a good breakfast so that your digestion is really starting up here. So it's the best time actually to eat breakfast is between 7 and 9 a.m. Eat a good, healthy, hearty breakfast. If the stomach is out of balance, you're going to see symptoms that may arise, which is sort of like acid reflux, stomach ulcers, bad breath, stomach aches, and these sorts of things. You're going to notice these things. If you have that, then you want to find an acupuncturist, get some treatments, and start eating a good warm meal in the morning. So also, if you're feeling like heavy or bloated, or you feel like you can't wake up in the morning and you're so tired and it's like you have a big sort of metal bell around your head and you just can't wake up, that's also one of the symptoms for actually more on the spleen area, but still it's the earth element that you want to sort of enhance. You want to balance that and give it some more chi. So that's just a few tips from here on how to stay healthy. So there's a lot of nurturing energy this year. Oops, we have someone talking. If you could all just please put your screens on mute. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can hear someone talking in the back. I think it's you, Cecilia. If you can just put your screen on mute, please. That would be a big help so that we don't have so many voices at the same time. Thank you. Okay. Yes, I see you're connecting to mute now. I hope you are. Good. I will proceed here. So where was I? Let's see. So there's a lot of nurturing energy coming up this year, and we want to welcome and accept ourselves. So the earth element is really about nurturing and holding. Okay, that's really sort of the base of the energy, is holding, nurturing, and it's you know, if you want to go all the way back, of course, the love energy is in the fire element in Chinese medicine and the heart. But for me, nurturing energy is also self-love. It's really about welcoming yourself into the new energies and bringing these parts of yourselves that you've maybe shoved off or don't normally take in so much. So really accept the parts of yourself that you're not used to showing or used to feeling, really welcoming in these new sides of you or old sides of you that you usually don't look at so much, or that you don't, how can I put it? It can be old sides of you that you did a lot as a child, but then kind of forgot a little bit as you grew up. Go back, bring it in, okay? Whether it's being extrovert or introvert, or if it's playing a certain thing, a game, wearing some certain clothes or colors, like bring in these sides of you that you've forgotten. Really kind of welcome in this new energy. So we want to welcome and accept ourselves versus going into paranoia and self-doubt. We really want to work with the self-worth and welcome these sides in that we normally don't. Okay, so really working with the self-worth, really building that. It's really, really important to build up the self-worth. Every time you have a thought that's like, oh, I'm not good enough, or I should have done that, this or that, or she's better than me, or he's better than me, all of that stuff, work with it when it comes up. It's going to be very, very important when we come into 2026 that you've done this work. Okay, I'll talk more about that in the end. So the wood dragon year is about change. It's like thunder. There's really kind of this change that's coming in. It's going to bring in a lot of new things about yourself that you maybe didn't even know. So please welcome that also. Maybe you'll find new sides within yourself that you're gonna see, whoa, I didn't even know I could do that, or I didn't know I had that in me. So tuning in and feeling these emotions and really feeling it, welcoming in the new. So CT actually taught me this one. I've actually been doing this for a long time with feeling the actual feeling in your body. and he put in an extra little twist around feeling the tingling in your fingertips, which I really, really love. So what I usually do is if I have an emotion, if I'm really, really sad about something, I'm going to close my eyes. And you can do this right now. So you probably had an emotion today or yesterday or something where you were annoyed or irritated or sad or happy or something else. Just pick any feeling that you sort of know of or that you just had. Maybe you had it 10 minutes ago. And just close your eyes and just feel that feeling. And just feel, where do I feel that in my body? Where do I feel this feeling in my body? And it's going to be somewhere in your body, and it's going to be the first thing that comes up. So you're not going to use your brain like, oh, is it in my chest? Oh no, it's in my foot. Oh no, it's in my hand. That's your brain. It's the first thing that comes up, the first sort of feeling where you're like chest or a finger or a toe. So feel the feeling in your body. The first thing that comes up, just feel that in your body, and then just breathe through it. And you can sit with this and breathe through the feeling for a long time. And this is actually called meditation. But I really like that meditation moves something in me. I don't meditate to fall asleep. Sometimes I do. But mostly I meditate to move an energy, move an energetic, or to sort of like dig deeper into something. So where do you feel that feeling in your body? Sit with it, breathe there, okay? Sit and breathe there. And when you start, just breathe through it. Don't think about it. Every time your mind starts moving, go back and just breathe through. When you start feeling tingling in your fingertips, it's the emotion that's starting to release. It could also be in your feet. When you start feeling tingling in your fingertips or toes, it's the emotion that's starting to release. Isn't that beautiful? I really love this. I really, really love this because emotions are meant to be felt, not to be thought. So we're supposed to feel the feeling. We're not supposed to think about it. And a lot of people think a lot about their feelings instead of feeling them. Me included, I'm a big thinker. So I do this, but that's why this practice is so wonderful and beautiful. So do that this coming year. There's going to be a lot of worry. Okay, there's going to be a lot of worry, and you really want to keep yourself unworried. Okay, we're going live on Instagram now for the dragon forecast. So we're going to talk a lot about action fairness. We're going to talk about taking our time for things. We're going to talk about exercise, and I'm going to put in some facial traits. So for the coming year, there's going to be a lot of action and fairness going on. So we're going to see, hopefully, some fairness coming up. We need fairness. There's been so much unfairness this past year with the war. All these people that, you know, are dying, and it's so awful and it's so unfair. We're going to see some fairness coming up because this is the wood energy. The wood energy in Chinese medicine is the liver and gallbladder organs that are connected to that element. And the energies, the feelings in sort of in the baseline of the wood element is fairness. Like there's a really, really strong energy around fighting, being fair, discussing, coming out and doing something about it. Okay. So there's going to be a lot of action. There's going to be a lot of doing, and there's going to be a lot of fairness energy that's going to come up. So this is really, really important for me. If you have problems within yourself, in your relationships, like you feel unfairly treated very often, you probably have a imbalance in your wood element. Or if you often feel that that you have to be extra concerned that everyone is treated fair, then you probably have a strong wood element. So when we have this fairness theme, there's something around the wood element that we want to look at. So that's going to be huge this year because it's the wood dragon. So there's going to be a lot of that energy. And because it's an earth year, we're going to see a lot of worry. So instead, get grounded and let the yang energy do its work on its own. Okay. So the yang energy travels upwards, the yin travels downwards. And when we have wood, wood is a yang energy, travels upwards. And that's why it's linked to anger. Anger goes up, right? It's like in cartoons, like the person gets really angry and then you see the face get red and then smoke coming out of their head. That's that anger energy. It's a yang energy that rises upwards. And we're going to see some of that, and we're going to see a lot of worry. So worry starts in the mind. It's really getting your mind clear. Okay, it's so important this year, clearing your mind. Okay, every time you worry and you're thinking too much, just notice yourself when you're doing your dishes or going for a walk. Like the mind is constantly going like that, right? So once in a while, just try not to think, just for a few seconds. Practice it. It's going to be very, very important in 2 years when we have a very fiery year coming up. So it's really important to really start working on the worry energy and the thinking too much. Okay, so clear the mind. So there's going to be a lot of overwhelm this year. We're going to see a lot of yeah, just feeling overwhelmed, like it's too much, like we almost can't digest what's happening. Okay. And again, if you're grounded and your energy, you're rooted, if you can breathe and you can say one thing at a time, you're not going to feel as overwhelmed. Okay. So it's really important to have like a steady calendar. So make sure that your calendar is steady and that you have some days off or some hours off. Take breaks, make sure that you're grounded and that you have breaks in your calendar, because there's going to be a lot of overwhelm and you're going to want to use that time, those time slots that you create for yourself in your calendar. You're going to want to use that to ground. Okay. So, so make sure of that. And then we're going to tend to a lot of responsibility. The wood element is a very sort of doing, action-oriented energy. So there's going to be a lot of responsibility, and we want to work with the transformation energy this year. Okay, so we really want to transform and have the balance between doing too much, thinking too much, and this overwhelm energy that we're really sort of grounding and bringing in these new sides of ourselves. Okay. So the dragon represents the teenager energy into the adult time. So it's like you're going from spring to summer, which is like, you know, when you're a teenager, you're sort of feeling a little bit awkward at times and you're kind of growing and it's a little bit weird and all that. And then you get used to the new energy as you grow up. Okay. So it's really about taking in this new energy and seeing how can I use this in the best way. Take your time. Take your time this year. Super important. There's going to be a lot of community and sustainability because the dragon is wood. It looks at the possibilities and makes the right decisions. So it's going to be like this. You're going to look and breathe and decide what to do from a grounded place. That's really, really important. So we don't want wood to overact on earth. And this is what happens because the earth element in Chinese medicine is pretty subtle energy. Okay, the energetic, the feeling of earth is very sort of grounded, it's soft, it's easy, it has this nurturing energy. And then you have the wood element, which is like, oh, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. And if we don't have the balance between these two elements, the wood overacts on wood, and I'm going to look at my hands. They're doing like that. That's what's going to happen. This is going to be your stomach chi. This could be your self-worth. It could be your stomach, your physical stomach, your spleen, your digestion. It could be getting headaches. It can be a lot of different things. So it could be emotional, it could be physical, it could be many different things. But the wood is going to overreact and sort of eat at the earth element if you don't keep the balance. Okay, so it's really, really important. Keep that grounding. Don't worry. And you know, take your time. So if you have to decide something, don't decide too fast. Take your time, look at all your options, write them down on a piece of paper. These are my options. What can I do? And take your time to communicate what you need to do, to find out what are the possibilities, what are the outcomes, and then just take your time to decide what you have to do if you have to decide something. So it's really about making the right decisions. And that's what this year also is really about, like really feeling into what is the right decision. And again, if you having feelings around, like if you're deciding something and you have 10 options and you get stressed, go into the feeling, release the energy, feel the tingling in your fingers, release it, and then go back to your piece of paper where you have all your decision making, and then go back and decide something from there. So really use that exercise on the emotion, feeling it and not thinking so much about it, because that's a very imbalanced earth thing to do, is to think about the feeling instead of feeling it. Okay, so this is a really, really good year hack, life hack, year hack for the dragon year, is to really feel the feelings this year. So take your time with the things, look, breathe, decide from a grounded place, and everything's going to be okay. So it's all the power that's coming forward here. Don't get stuck in old patterns. Earth is very much, if it's imbalanced, it will get stuck in old patterns. It's going to want to keep the old stuff instead of like throwing that out, bringing the new in. Earth can be a little bit sticky. So it sticks to the things that we know. So really make sure that you're not holding on to old patterns. Super important. If you have old patterns and you know, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm sick and tired of shouting at my children or my spouse. I'm sick and tired of feeling unworthy. Whatever your pattern is, let it go. Let it go. This is the year that you want to let this go. It's important that you let these patterns go. You do not need them anymore and they don't serve you anymore, so let it go. Look at these patterns, breathe, get grounded, let go. I'm going to give you an exercise now, which is I really love, for the letting go of patterns. It's pretty simple, and I want you to please do this, and please tag me on any social media that you are on when you actually do this throughout the year. I'm going to be doing this exercise throughout this year because I can really feel how much it helps. So as you go through the year, let me know when you do this exercise so that we can keep each other adjusted to this energy. So the exercise is about imagining all the patterns that we have. So we're going to do this now. So close your eyes and find one pattern. You can take any other pattern afterwards, but just choose one for now, one pattern that you know that you do, and you're just like, ugh, I'm sick and tired of it. I want to let it go. Choose one pattern. Okay. So feel the pattern, feel it in your body. Maybe you feel it somewhere in your hips, maybe you feel it in your chest, maybe you feel it somewhere else in your body. Feel the pattern and imagine it's like a loop. It's like a circle. So feel the pattern just doing again and again and again and again. Feel that energy. Okay, it's like a loop. It's a circle. Now imagine that this circle, this loop, is made from a material that you can break. Could be glass, it could be chains, it could be whatever material you sort of feel that it has. Try to break it. Okay, so break that circle. Imagine that it smashes and you're breaking the circle. It smashes in 1,000 pieces and it's not a circle anymore. Now take a deep breath in and just feel that energy. That circle is broken now. And let that energy from the pattern travel all the way down into Earth. All the way down into the middle of Mother Earth. All the way into the middle of Mother Earth. Just let the energy go down there. And then you're going to move it up again from Mother Earth and all the way back into your body. As you breathe in and as you breathe out, you're going to let the energy move all the way down into Mother Earth. And breathe in, bring it up from Earth and into your body. Breathe out, bring it down to Mother Earth. And you can do this for as long as you want. Just sit with this energy. Okay, so you just breathe in and out, up and down, and let that energy be sort of more elongated. So it could be like a long line that's coming up. It could be like a cord that's coming up from ground up through your spine, or it could just be your whole body. And just sit and breathe with that. And you can do this with any pattern that you have. Maybe you have a partner and you always do the same thing. You get into the same discussions and you're just really tired of it. Do this. It could be something with your children. It could be a pattern that you have internally only, a thought pattern, a way that you do something that you're kind of like, I want to release that. You could do this with any pattern. It could also be that you have a physical pattern. So for example, maybe you have allergies, or you have like a hip that hurts or a knee that hurts. That's also a pattern, okay? A pattern can also be physical, that your knee is always hurting in a certain way. That's a pattern too. That's old energy that's kind of stuck in your system. You can actually do this as well. Break the circle, move the energy up and down into the knee, right? From Mother Earth and up and down that way, so that you start breaking the pattern and making a new energy field. So I hope this exercise will help you when we come into the new year of the Wood Dragon. Let me know in the chat if it made sense for you. I hope that it will serve you on your path for the next year. So we're going to go into food. And then we have something about screen time and creativity and the home and relationships. So we still have a bit to go. But we're going to start with the food. So the foods that are really good this year are eating lots of greens, because this is going to help and benefit your wood element. Lots of leafy greens, okay? Lots of leafy greens, and the taste of bitterness. So bitter greens are really good, but just general leafy greens, very good. And you want to eat organic, of course. You want to eat meat that's ethically harvested. You want to, of course, eat good energy food. But even more important is that you want to feel the chi build up. So you can buy 1,000 great organic things, but it's not necessarily going to give you lots of chi. So how do we know if it's giving your body chi? You can feel it. It's a tingling in your body when you eat something and you're just like, it's like, I feel it like this. It's going to be different for every person, but sometimes it's like a tingly feeling, or like an energy tingle, or happiness or joy could also be one of the chi feelings. I feel it like my body is like, it's like sucking it in a way. I feel like almost like my cells are taking in vitamins. And sometimes it can be like a little snack that I'm eating where I get that feeling. Other times it's like a really great meal that's prepared by a person that made it with love and affection. So it's going to be very different. Sometimes it's just an apple, but notice that feeling of chi when you eat something. So you can eat all the right things and have the right things on your menu, but they're not necessarily giving you chi. So you want that energy. That energy is actually the chi energy, which is really gonna give you a great feeling of joy. It's gonna give you more energy, okay? So it's gonna uplift the energy. So just make sure to eat chi-ful food that gives you chi. And for some people, it's going to be fried duck, and for other people, it's going to be vegan, and whatever that is for you. So just have that really like your body's saying, yes, please. That's the energy you want to feel in your body. So lots of greens. Eat sour food. Sour food softens the liver. So the sour flavor softens the liver, which is linked to the wood element. So what you could do is you can eat 2 tables of vinegar in the morning. That's really, really good. It's going to soften the liver. So that would be a really good ritual to start with coming into February, because the new year is all about grounding. It's about routines. It's about rituals, doing the same again and again and again, whether it's your calendar or the way you eat, the way you sleep, when you go to bed, how you do the things. It's really going to benefit you a lot if you have like the routine, okay? So a new routine would be, for example, eating 2 tablespoons of vinegar in the morning. So I would definitely recommend that for the next year. Also, you can eat black beans and make lovely jing soup, which is bone broth soup, which is also very, very important to get that into your system. Screen time. So what we say in Chinese medicine is that not only your stomach eats, your mind eats as well. So when I'm eating some food, nom, 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 I'm eating something delicious, it's coming into my stomach, my spleen, my stomach is taking all the nutrients and doing something well with it and making lots of chi, lots of blood in my body. The same actually happens if you read a book or you watch a film. It's like this energy is coming in and you're refining it in your brain. And then at the output, you have like, oh, the book, let's say you read a book that was 200 pages. And a friend asked, what was the book about? And it took you probably maybe 2 weeks to read the book. And in like less than 30 seconds, you tell your friend, oh, the book is about this and that. And this man fell in love with a woman. And then they traveled all the way around the world. Then in like 2 sentences, 30 seconds, you've just told her what the whole book was about, right? It's the same when you watch a film. It's something in your brain is refining the energy, it's refining the thing you learned. So you really want to keep an eye out for what you're putting into your head space, okay? Screen time, movies, books, news, whatever you're putting in, or listening to people. If you have people in your world that are talking about things that you really don't want to hear. If you have like the radio on and it's just going, but you're not really listening to what's being said on the radio, turn it off. So really be mindful about what you're putting into your mind, into your intellect, okay? Be mindful about that, because that can really mess up your earth element, the spleen, and the stomach. So if you are watching too many horror movies, it gives you an energy in your body, okay? There's going to be a lot of fear in your body if that's what you're all the time watching these fearful things. If you're watching too many romantic films, you lose your grounding. If you watch too much news and documentaries and very serious things, you become too serious. So it's really about being mindful of, watching a little of this, a little of that, making sure to have your breaks and your pauses and listen to something that makes sense for you. Okay. Good. Regarding creativity, the dragon is a very creative, it's a very creative energy. It's all about music, it's about art, it's about these creative things, and they're gonna thrive this year, which I think is really, really wonderful. I love art, I love creativity. So this is going to thrive a lot. So if you have any new projects coming up, do them in April, let them thrive. And then collaborations are going to be very, very big this year. So collaborations, and you're going to be surprised of how these collaborations are going to be installed. Maybe someone comes to you and wants to collaborate with you from a place where you never thought that would sort of be something that you can imagine that, but you're going to see this community energy coming up. And it's really about holding this pleasant space in a community, collaborating. This is the earth energy, okay? So coming together, collaborating, doing collabs with people, working together with people, and then just notice, because I know a lot of people that have sort of these fears, like being in collabs or being in groups where they feel they're not good enough, or these sort of family dynamics come up again. Okay, so there's a lot of this family energy in earth. So in communities and in these spaces, sometimes we feel very much connected, and other times we have a hard time finding our place and space in a community. So work with some of these themes. That's going to also be really, really good for you this year. I know a lot of people that come into my groups in face reading school, for example, or into some of the other groups and workshops that I do, that often feel like the black sheep in the family, and then we talk about it, and it's like they find their space again. And I love that when we sort of figure out like, oh, this is actually how I can be in a group. So work with that if you have problems with that, and if you're in a group now and you're not really feeling held, or you don't really feel that you're learning anything new, get rid of it, do something else, do something new. Maybe in April, move on. Okay, so April is really good time to move on if you need to do that. bringing the new sides of you in the community also. So maybe being in a community will mirror some new sides of yourself that you actually didn't know that you had. Okay, so some of these community, when we work in groups, sometimes we are mirrored new sides of ourselves, both balanced and imbalanced sides of ourselves. So work with the sense of that feeling, and yeah, hope that makes sense. So we're coming into the theme of home. This is also the earth energy, is the home energy. We're going to see a lot of people in their homes this year, maybe working from homes, but also just spending a lot of time at home. The dragon is the earth, it's the earth element. So building homes will be big this year. Furnishing companies will be big this year. Construction, builders, decorators, house stylists, feng shui therapists also will do well this year. So there's definitely something to work with that there. If you are a stylist and you sort of wanted to go into some more decor, April would be a really good time to kind of launch some new things, or if you have some new ideas around housing. April is a really good month to kind of put that into perspective. And also the colors yellow and brown, because these are the earth colors. And these are actually, I was thinking about it this morning, about saying a little bit about feng shui. And actually the bedroom is a room that you really want to, you want grounded energy in your bedroom, because that's where you build your energy. That's where you go into your yin mode. That's where your sleep is. That's where you really restitute the energy inside of you. Okay. So you really want to have a grounded energy in your bedroom. So brown and sort of yellowish colors are really good for, the sleeping, the bedroom, the grounded energy. Also, if you have like a meditation spot, using these colors are also very, very good for that. And heavy curtains in your bedroom, so like long heavy curtains, that's also grounded energy, because it's long and it goes all the way down to earth. So these sort of more grounded textures are going to be really big this year also. Like velvet, for example, that would be a material, a fabric that it's very earthy, because it almost looks like earth. If you have like brown velvet, it looks like earth. So that would be like, if you're a designer or if you're a stylist, that would be something that you really could work with, like yellow or brown velvet. So that's a few tips from here. That's something that's going to go well. Relationship wise, wood is about passion. So of course, passion is also in the heart. It's about love, but really that energy of like expressing the passion, that's really the wood energy. So we're going to see a lot of passion in relationships. It could be lots of discussions, or like, you don't love me anymore, I love you so much, like that sort of energy. Okay, that energy is going to be, it's going to be pretty big, so don't get overwhelmed. Stay grounded. But this is really a beautiful thing. I love passion in relationships. I think it's a wonderful thing. But we're going to see a lot of people changing their minds. So go slow and steady in relationships. If you're dating, go slow and steady. Don't rush anything. Just, take it nice and easy, and take one thing at a time. Okay, so being very sort of practical with it, being very grounded. Let's see, like that. Okay, take your time. Because people are going to change their minds a lot. There's going to be like, I love you, I don't love you, I want to be with you, I don't, like that sort of energy. Okay, so go slow and steady. That's going to benefit you a lot. A lot of people thrive in chaos, and this year is about stability and routines. Okay, this year is about stability and routines. Very, very important this year. Doing the same every day, from meals to exercise to having a daily practice to doing the same things every day at the same time. Like all of that is really going to be, it's going to benefit you a lot. So make sure to do that. When we're talking about face reading, I'm going to give you a few tips now on face reading. So when we're looking at wood features in a face, we're looking at big eyebrows and a big jaw. Okay, so big square jaw. If you have big eyebrows, that's a sign that you have to be more physical. So you want to do like strong cardio and like more physical activity if you have big eyebrows. If you have thinner eyebrows, it's more like yoga and more sort of stretching, brisk walking, things like that. So that's something you can look at because we're going to have a lot of wood this year, which is you really want to know how to use your wood. People that have strong wood element, they're very keen on discussing things and being sort of very sort of like, let's discuss this, right? It's like, it's that energy. And so just know yourself where you are in your communication skills and also in how you actually physically use your wood element. So big eyebrows, lots of cardio, thinner eyebrows, more yoga, more stretching, more brisk walking, that stuff. You also want to look at the spleen line that goes, so we have a line that if we have an imbalance in the spleen, it goes from the top of the nose here, and it goes across the bridge of the nose on the top, right up here where I'm pointing. This area is a sign of either that you worry too much or that your spleen chi is sort of locked or blocked. And this is something you really want to work on this year. If you have this line, eat warm meals 3 times a day. Notice your worrisome mind. Okay, if your mind is looping in the loop pattern thing, do the exercise I gave you. Really try to ground yourself. Really try to come out of your mind and sort of relax that sort of the mind that's controlling you. You're controlling your mind. Okay, so that keep an eye on this line here. Or if you're very white here, or sort of like bluish or greenish here, there's going to be something with your spleen that you want to work on. Find an acupuncturist. PM me if you have any questions around these things. Be happy to help. Also, you want to look at the heart line. The heart line is here on the tip of the nose, a little above the tip of the nose. This is about keeping an open heart. I just did a YouTube film on that, how to protect yourself. It's in Danish. Let me know if you don't understand Danish. Maybe I'll do it in English as well. But this is also very, very important to keep the heart open and work on boundaries, work on grounding yourself so that you can keep that space. And that's why communities are very, very important, that when we come into a community, it's like there's a space that holds us where our heart actually can open up a little bit more. So that's why communities are really, really important. Even if you're an introvert, it can be very, very important to work in communities sometimes, to work in groups. And it can be smaller groups. I like working with groups of 5, 6 people, smaller groups, because then you still have the mirroring energy in the group, but it's still kind of private. So yeah, so keep an eye on that line as well. And then the Jing line, which is between your lower lip and your chin, this line down here is the Jing line. And you really want to keep an eye on that it's not too deep unless you're in your 60s. If you're before 60 years of age, you shouldn't have this line because it means that you're working too much, you're pushing too much, you're pushing, and working. And we really want to listen to the body's energy and not over push and hustle all the time. So these are some of the lines that you can look at in your face or in the people around you. But for the coming year, working on accepting yourself, welcoming in these new energies. In the future, we're going to need this energy of building Earth. And this year, you're gonna meet some people, right? So you're gonna work together with people, feel the connection, build a relationship this year. This is really important to build relationships this year, because we're going to be using that in 25 and 26. So maybe you're going to meet someone in a few months and you don't really know why you met them, but in a few years you're going to, oh, they're going to give you a job, or, oh, do you want to work with me or do a collab in a couple of years? So build relationships this year. Just make these relationships, build them, connect with people as you can, okay? And then in a couple of years, it's gonna give, it's gonna grow something, and that's what Earth is. It's slow, okay? You put a little something in the Earth and it grows slowly, okay? And this is what we're doing this year. We're putting these little seeds in the Earth. In a couple of years, you're going to see, oh, it actually grew to this relationship, or it grew to this job, or it grew to this creative project. Okay, so really start connecting with whatever feels right for you, whatever feels familiar to you or feels right to you. Connect with people, communities, these things. It will grow during the next couple of years, okay? So in 2025, next year, we're coming into the snake, which is about refinement. So we're going to be refining all the earth energy and the mind control and all these things that we're learning this year. We're going to be refining that next year. Okay. And in 2026, it's a very fiery year. The horse, very fiery year. So we're going to see a lot of people get anxiety, get stress, just kind of fall apart, because fire, it just burns everything. Okay. So really work on that grounding this year so that you're ready in a couple of years and you're not sort of burning out. Okay. So it's really, really important. So we have to connect now and see things from other perspectives. Try to see things from other perspectives. If something happens to you or in a situation that you're in, whether it's work-wise or relationship-wise, whatever it is, try to see if you can see it from another perspective, from another person's eyes. Like, what are they experiencing? Really trying to see things from other perspectives than you're usually doing, okay? And you can even talk to a friend and ask them to let me see your perspective. So really try to practice that energy. That's going to be really, really helpful this year. Okay, everyone, I hope you had a good time here for the Dragon forecast of 2024, starting on February 10th. Let me know if you're going to be celebrating the Chinese New Year. I'd love to see what you're going to be doing. It's in 1 month, exactly today. So we're getting ready for the new energy. And thank you so much for watching. It's been a thrill to be with you. Please write in the chat box if you have anything. I will see you very soon. I'm going to hop off Instagram now. Take care, and then you can watch the full video on YouTube in a couple of days. Bye. And for those of you that are on Zoom, we're going to do a little questionnaire. If you have any questions, I am going to look in the chat now and see what you all are saying. Cecilia is saying, great, but busy times. Okay. Dahlia is biking. Don't know if you're still biking, but nice that you were that we were in your ears as you were biking. Lena says life is good. Good to see you, Lena. Life is good. Made some tough decisions that I'm still trying to get undone. Oh, okay, interesting. That's very interesting, especially because what we're just talking about is seeing these different perspectives and all these things. So you're probably already kind of, you're working with the thing, you're understanding something about decisions already now. So you're kind of like, or before the rest of us, you're practicing now so that you're ready for the next year. So that's really interesting. You're standing strong in your truth. Great. Thanks to everything you told me. Oh, I'm so happy. Mwah. I'm so happy. Mu says corduroy. Yeah, corduroy, exactly. Corduroy and velvet. Yep, exactamundo. Brown corduroy. It's very 70s and yellow, right? But these fabrics, I don't know why. I'm thinking like a yellow corduroy jacket would be very, very beautiful. When are you going to design something, Mu? Isn't it about time? Okay. Mu's a stylist, so that's why I'm saying that.
We have someone called Love to Everyone. I love this. What a beautiful name. Dear Fatima, thank you for so many. Take care of myself, ourselves in this 2024. I really need it. Thank you for always very lovely, good energy. You're very welcome. I don't know who you are. Maybe I know you, but your name is Love in there, and I think it's wonderful and beautiful. If I do know you, let me know your name. And otherwise, I'm just very, very happy that you're here. What a nice message. Makes me so happy. Dahlia says, would be a nice way. What would be a nice way of balancing the feeling of overwhelmed? Well, rooting your energy. So rooting the energy, because when we're overwhelmed, it's like too much energy is coming towards us. And if we're rooted, we don't get overwhelmed. It's just like, okay, take a deep breath. So I would do actually breath work for overwhelm. If I'm feeling overwhelmed, sleep. Sleep really helps me digest. It always has. Taking a nap, really love it. And breath work also, because you're breathing and you're breathing in and you're breathing out. So you're taking in and you're taking out. And I think those are my two sort of favorites. If there's anyone in here that has something else where they're like, oh, I really like that one, please let us know. I'd love to, that we can inspire each other in here with good things. Ja. Pernille says, tusind tak, Fatima, super. Så dejligt at se dig, Pernille. Så dejligt, du var med. It's Marie-Louise Dallerup, Love. From Denmark, my name is Love. I love this. Beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, Mu says in April, exactly, Mu. That's when you're gonna do it. Thank you so much. That was the beginning of the exercise you made. Can you repeat with the breaking the chain? Okay, so when you have a pattern, okay, so let's say that something happens and you have a pattern where you always go into the same emotion, or you always like the same pattern happens, right? First of all, what you want to do is you want to breathe in and you want to notice, okay, this is a pattern. Okay, it's not me. That's the first thing. Okay, first thing is we do not identify with the pattern. It's not you, it's a pattern. Okay, so you see the pattern. This is the emotion that always happens. And then you feel it in your body. Where do you feel that? Could be somewhere physical. Could also be, if you're a very creative visual person, you're just going to see a visual of, maybe you're going to see a color, maybe you're going to see a texture, maybe it feels like glass or stone or chains, like you're going to feel something. See the pattern and then feel it's a loop. Feel how it loops again and again and again. Maybe it's a loop that happened from when you were 2 years old. Maybe it's a physical pattern that's in your hip. And it like I have something in my hip right now. I had it 5 years ago and now it's back. That's a pattern. It came back. So what I'm doing with my physical hip in these days is I'm imagining that hurt, the pain of the hip. It's looping, and then I feel it, I feel the loop, and then I break it. I imagine that I'm breaking it in 1,000 pieces, and then I imagine the feeling from my hip going all the way down into earth and all the way up. So it's like the yin yang exercise of going all the way down, all the way up, all the way down, all the way up. So breathing in and breathing out, and using your in and your out breath. It doesn't really matter which one is up and down and your in and your out breath. Just breathe in and out, up and down, and do them together, okay? Let me just feel into it. I think I would breathe up and when I breathe out, I go down. That's most natural for me. Feel it in your body, what feels good for you, okay? So imagining the chain, the pattern, and then break it, and then let the energies flow up and down, yin and yang, okay? Silje says, tak for dig og din visdom. Tak fordi du var med. Det var dejligt, at du var her. Sabrina says, thank you for this amazing forecast. I'm excited about the dragon year, especially the part of feeling or feeling, not thinking. Yes, me too. And the tingling. I'm really excited about that one. I think that's a really good trick. And it's nice that it's physical and you know, okay, it's over, it's done. I really like that sort of that feeling. It's like, it's very kind of satisfying, I think. So yeah, I'm happy that you like that. And so nice that you were here, that you made it. I'm so happy. This is going to be an amazing year. I'm very, very excited about this year. This earth energy is going to be so good for us. The fairness theme coming up. There's going to be some really nice communities, some really nice connections. You're going to have some really nice nice energies that are going to come into this year. We're going to have some great experiences with friends and communities and these things. So, and collabs and all these things. So we're going to have a lot of fun this year, and I'm very, very excited for that. Okay, my loves, it was wonderful to be here with you. I would love to sit and chat for 1,000 hours with you, but I'm going to hop off now because I promised it was going to be a 1 hour live. If anything comes up, I'm going to put this live on Instagram, and then you can always write down the thread or tag me if anything happens. One last thing that I really, really wanted to share, which is actually probably the most important for me, is I have a very, very close connection to the dragon energy. My mother died when I was 10, and I've always had this big thing of looking in the clouds and seeing images in the clouds. And one of my ways of connecting with my mother is actually looking at the clouds and finding the image of dragon. That's her energy for me. And so that's something that I do, and I often see the image of dragon in the clouds, which is so beautiful for me. I love just feeling that energy. So it's a very personal thing for me. This sort of how can I put it? This image, the clouds and the dragon, watching the dragon in the clouds. It's a very sort of spiritual and personal thing that I do in my daily life. And yeah, I just wanted to share that. And so if you do find the image of dragon in the clouds, then please tag me. I would love to see that. It means a lot to me. Or just let me know that you saw it if you didn't get a photo. But yeah, so I hope that you have a beautiful year. Let's keep in touch, and I'm sending you all so much love. Take care. I'm going to put this one on YouTube in a few days, and you can watch the replay there. Bye.